Welcome back to Advice for Grad Students. I'm your host, Phil Hahn, and I'm joined with me today with Caitlin Talmadge, fellow alum of the MIT SSP program. Welcome today, Caitlin, to Advice for Grad Students.
Hello there. It's great to be with you.
Oh, it's great to be with you as well. Just a disclaimer that the comments made today are our own and not from our representative institutions. Caitlin is Associate Professor of Security Studies at Georgetown University. And the topic today is an important one to grad students, and I think a really important for first and second years thinking about this, which is the dissertation defense. So the floor is over to you.
Great. Thank you so much. I'm really glad that this is on your list of topics for this podcast because I think it tends to be overlooked as an important part of your graduate training and education and launching into the field. It tends to be treated kind of as just a milestone. You know, it's out in your mind for so many years, the dissertation defense, and it's often very emotional. You know, you're nervous if you're going to pass. You're excited to celebrate. You're buying the champagne. Hopefully, you're getting some gifts for your committee too. But you know, in all of that, you don't want to lose sight of the fact that it's actually much more than a milestone. So if you aren't ready to defend your dissertation, you're probably not going to have your advisor schedule it. So passing your dissertation defense is really not what your main focus should be. Even though it often feels like, you after so many years, you go into the defense and you're thinking, oh my God, I hope I pass. They're not going to schedule it if you're not ready. And if somehow that happens, that's on your advisors, not on you. So the question is, what are you actually supposed to get out of your dissertation defense? And the thing that I would really emphasize to grad students looking toward their defense is that this is probably the last time in your life that you're going to have all of your committee members in the same room, teed up on and focused on your work and having just read your work. And that is an incredible opportunity, maybe an opportunity you haven't even had since your prospectus defense, to get feedback on this piece of research that you have spent years of your life putting together. And why is that feedback important? Because frankly, almost no one takes their dissertation and just submits it to a book publisher or submits it, to journals to be published as articles. As tired as you are, as excited as you are that your PhD is done, for just about everybody, there is more work ahead between finishing the dissertation and getting that PhD and actually publishing that work in a high quality outlet. And so your dissertation defense is your chance to get feedback from your committee all in the same room after having actually read your work about what your next steps are to get to that publication goal. And that can be very different for different people. It could be rewriting, it could be doing more research, it could be, all kinds of things. But you really should go into your dissertation defense not expecting a grilling. I mean, you might get grilled, that can happen, where advisors will push you on things, but you should actually go into the defense with your list of questions and things that you're thinking about. Like, should I go in direction A or direction B? Should I cut this? Should I replace it with that? Go in already thinking about what are the crossroads that are going to be facing me as I revise this dissertation into an actual publication, and get your committee to give some opinions on those things while it's fresh in their mind. Because I can tell you, 6 months later or a year later or 2 years later, when this comes up for you and you email your committee members, first of all, like, I'm sorry, but a lot of them aren't even going to remember like what was going on in your project. I mean, we do so much advising, it's not personal, but it's just like they've read thousands and thousands of pages since the last time they thought about your work. And so they may not even really remember enough to answer your questions. And that's if they have time to reply at all. You're going to be replaced by the next batch of grad students. And so this is your chance to find out, what advice do you have for me? I have your attention. Tell me what you want me to do, because you may never get that again.
Okay. Can you talk a little bit about the mechanics of actually making sure you record that information and have it available well?
This is a really, really important point. So rules are different in different departments, and different advisors have different preferences, but it is highly to your advantage to, in some form, record, lock into stone whatever is said in the defense. And you can do that nowadays, like literally with a recorder. Everybody has one on their phone. So, if your advisors say it's okay, do it. You can do that, and you can have a note taker sometimes, like if you wanted to have a friend come in and be a scribe. And, that's often very beneficial for the friend too. Maybe you have a friend in the program who's a year or two behind. They'd like to see what a dissertation defense looks like. Hopefully you've also watched some dissertation defenses. Ask that friend to come in and just take a transcript so that you can remember the advice from the committee, because you're absolutely right, Phil. This is a really important conversation, and you want to extract and retain all of that advice that you may never have a chance to call upon again.
Yeah, I recorded mine on an iPhone, asked for permission, got it, and then I didn't touch my dissertation for 6 months, and I couldn't remember a thing that got said, and my notes were totally incoherent. So if not for that recording, I would have lost everything that had been provided. And I think you're spot on. Anything else you want to add on this topic?
No, I think that's about it. I just would encourage people to remember that it's not just a milestone or a box checking exercise. It really is kind of a capstone moment that you can then use to launch you into the next phase of your career. No matter how tired you are and how burned out you are on that dissertation, like there is life after the defense, and you want to be thinking about it.
Yeah, I did bring up, I just thought of a question, which is dissertation committee members that are providing different advice. Did you have any of that, and how you handled that?
So this does happen. It can be challenging. I believe that you all are doing another podcast on kind of forming the committee, and this is hopefully something that you thought about in forming your committee, because I do think it is one of the big landmines that can really stymie dissertation progress and even the dissertation defense. If you have advisors that are just totally at cross purposes, or at loggerheads on something, I personally didn't have too big of an issue with that. I did have two advisors, a chair and another member, who wanted to see something different in the book, but they had an agreement that I would kind of go with the first advisor's, the chair's view in the dissertation. But I listened a lot to what that other committee member said, and for the book, I went ahead and did that. If you truly have advisors that are at loggerheads, hopefully you find that out before the defense. But it's something to be thinking about from the very beginning, including in committee formation. You don't want to set yourself up for that situation, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, if it's still the same way as your dissertation chair and the graduate, whoever oversees the graduate programs, are the two signatures you need. But those committee members are going to be very important to you for like jobs going forward. So you definitely don't want to alienate them in a dissertation defense. Well,
absolutely.
Thank you so much for this important topic, Caitlin. And we'll see the rest of you all next time on Advice for Grad Students.
Thanks a bunch.